हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू मनु लॉ क्लासेस। मेरा नाम गौतम दीक्षित है। नाउ फ्रेंड्स, इन टुडेज वीडियो वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस द डेली हिंदू एनालिसिस ऑफ जुलाई 11 2022 and some of the important news are related to sports. A very important news from sports, as you can see over here, that Novak Djokovic, who is from Serbia, he has won the 7th Wimbledon title and 21st Grand Slam. So now this Grand Slam, these topics, they are very important from sports point of view. So we have to do this. Then we are going to see the new political crisis which has emerged in Sri Lanka. So we are going to see that also. And then we will study the investment dips which is happening in the startups after the lockdown has been removed from the country. So let's start with the news. The first news is from the foreign affairs, that is no resolution to Sri Lankan crisis. So if you will just see that political parties in Sri Lanka, they are scrambling to form an all party government after President Gotabaya Rajapaksa and Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, they have pledged to resign in the wake of citizens protest. तो यहाँ पे देखिए जो citizen protest चल रहा है श्रीलंका में, that is because of scarcity of goods, scarcity of essential goods actually. So now this scarcity of essential goods, so we already know that Sri Lanka is going through its worst economic crisis since its independence. Okay, so now earlier also there was a change in government when Mahinda Rajapaksa, he was the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, he resigned, and Ranil Wickremesinghe, he was appointed as the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka. And now they were not able to form a coalition government consisting of all party, and now they have offered to resign from their post, paving the way for all party government. The next is India's stand on this, that India it vows solidarity with people of Sri Lanka. तो यहाँ पे देखिए India is has announced support for the people of Sri Lanka. See, not for the government of Sri Lanka, but for the people of Sri Lanka. So whatever government comes in Sri Lanka, so India is going to continue to stand with the people of Sri Lanka. The next is a startups brace for a long and bitter winter. So if you will just see that there is a funding dry up due to global macroeconomic factors. So the startup ecosystem in India, they are bracing for a long and bitter winter, and we can see that there are layoffs going on in startups. And if you will just see that next 12 to 18 months there will be mass layoff in the edtech companies. So if you will just see the quantum of crisis in this sector, so in April-June quarter, which is the first quarter of the financial year, here the startup funding it fell by about 40% to about $6 to 7 billion. And then if you will just see that now since there is a scarcity of funds, so there is an estimate that there will be 10,000 job loss this year from the startup companies. The next is इसको हम static में ले सकते हैं. Okay, here already we know that monsoon is there in southern India. Many reservoirs they are almost at their peak, means full reservoir level, मतलब जो इनकी कैपेसिटी है वो उसको कहते हैं full reservoir level. So if we will see that Krishna Raja Sagar Dam, so Krishna Raja Sagar Dam is in Karnataka. It is built on river Kaveri. And if you will just see that Krishna Raja Sagar Dam, which is in Srirangapatnam, it is expected to attain its full reservoir level, that is of 124.8 feet in due course. The next is Idukki reservoir in Kerala. So here also the water level is now has risen in the Idukki reservoir also. तो यहाँ पे हमको बस ये ध्यान रखना है कि कृष्ण राजा सागर डैम कौन से रिवर पे है. सो इट इज़ ऑन कावेरी एंड इट इज़ इन स्टेट ऑफ कर्नाटका. ठीक है, एक और डैम के बारे में आता है, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज नागा अर्जुना सागर डैम. सो द नागा अर्जुना सागर डैम इट इज इन हैदराबाद, नियर हैदराबाद इन तेलंगाना एक्चुअली. ठीक है. Now coming to again Sri Lanka, where the ongoing protest is going on because of the scarcity of food crisis. So if you will just see here, the main target is Mr. Gotabaya Rajapaksa, who has already offered to tender his resignation, okay, and he has conveyed that he is going to resign on July 13. Then the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, Mr. Vikram Singhe, he is awaiting an alternative all-party government to take over before he steps down. यहाँ पे क्या है कि change of government, okay. So ये this is not the long-lasting solution for any crisis. Whatever government takes power in Sri Lanka, they have to resolve the economic crisis which is happening in Sri Lanka. श्रीलंका में जो इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस है, दिस इज कॉल्ड एज बैलेंस ऑफ पेमेंट क्राइसिस. बैलेंस ऑफ पेमेंट क्राइसिस का मतलब होता है कि व्हेन एनी कंट्री डज नॉट हैव इनफ फॉरेक्स रिजर्व टू बाय एसेंशियल इंपोर्ट्स इंक्लूडिंग क्रूड ऑयल. सो श्रीलंका had already declared its default earlier in the year, and now then they were seeking loan help from bailout package from International Monetary Fund. Okay, it is called as bailout package from International Monetary Fund. Okay, so here the next paragraph says that any government which is going to come in Sri Lanka, they have to see that they have to solve this economic crisis. The next is about Shinzo Abe. हमने लास्ट वीक इनके बारे में काफ़ी अच्छे से पढ़ा था. So Shinzo Abe, who first became Prime Minister in 2007, then again in 2012. Okay, so if you will just see that when he took over as the Prime Minister in 2012, Japan was going through economic recession and Fukushima nuclear disaster in 2011, which had killed about 20,000 people. Now he steered Japan out of this economic crisis by following three principles of economy, that is called as monetary easing, high fiscal spending and liberalization. ओके, मॉनेटरी ईजिंग, जैसे कि हम अपने आरबीआई के बारे में पढ़ते हैं. मॉनेटरी ईजिंग मीन्स दैट एनी सेंट्रल बैंक ट्राइंग टू इंक्रीज मनी फ्लो या लिक्विडिटी इन द इकोनॉमी. ओके, so that is the monetary easing. Then high fiscal spending, when government does the fiscal spending to ensure that there is demand in the economy. And the third is liberalization. These three things was called as Abenomics. Okay, so it helped Japan to come out of recession. Then there were several changes in foreign policy also, where he adopted a more hawkish line in the foreign policy. Okay, so he wanted to rewrite the US drafted post-war Pacific Constitution. He wanted to change that so that Japan becomes militarily stronger. And then in 2013 he visited Yasukuni Shrine. It is a controversial memorial for Japan's war dead, including the war criminals. The next is that when he became the Prime Minister for the first time in 2007, he proposed Quad, that is a multilateral grouping of 4 countries to counter the Chinese influence in the Indo-Pacific region. So we already know Quad, that the members are US, Japan, India and Australia. Recently the Quad summit, it was held in Tokyo, and here a new initiative was launched that is called as Indo-Pacific Framework for Economic Cooperation. That is called as IPEF. The next editorial is the road to productivity. तो यहाँ पे जो बात हो रही है road to productivity, here they are talking about cities as a fulcrum or as a platform for growth. But यहाँ पे देखिए cities जो होता है यहाँ पे anyone who is working, they have to commute. Okay, so this travel time, okay, is very much important to improve the productivity of cities. So the article is suggesting that there should be investment in road which reduces the travel time, which is very necessary to increase the economic output and to help upgrade the human development. So if you will just see over here, that larger a city's effective labor market, the greater it is agglomeration economy and knowledge spills over. Fine. So if you will just see that a study has been done which finds that 45-minute commute on public transit. Okay, so if you will just see that only 66,427 jobs are accessible in Phoenix metropolitan area in US, compared to, if you will just see, 2,02,724 jobs which were accessible in Philadelphia metropolitan area with the same commute time. Okay, so यहाँ पे दो cities की comparison है, ठीक है, where it is been shown that larger the cities labor market, मतलब जितना ज़्यादा लेबर वहाँ पे काम करेगा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल ओवर हियर फिलाडेल्फिया में अगर हम देखेंगे तो द वर्कर्स हु आर वर्किंग इज 2 लाख, मोर देन 2 लाख. तो उतना ज़्यादा ही नॉलेज स्पिल ओवर होता है, ठीक है, और उतना ज़्यादा ही सिटी का प्रोडक्टिविटी होता है. तो अगर अब हम इंडिया में अगर ट्रैवल टाइम रिड्यूस करना चाहते हैं, ठीक है, सो यह द अर्बन लोकल बॉडीज, ओके, दे कैन डायरेक्टली इम्पैक्ट द सिटीज़ इकोनॉमिक आउटपुट by upgrading their infrastructure, which reduces the travel time. Why? Because see, this statement is important, that increase in the road length of ULB, there is an increase in the ULB's own revenue by roughly ₹430 per capita. Okay, तो जितना ज़्यादा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में इन्वेस्टमेंट होता है उतना ज़्यादा अर्बन लोकल बॉडीज़ के रेवेन्यूज़ भी बढ़ते हैं. The next is Explorer series. So here we are going to see section 69A of the Information Technology Act. So this Information Technology Act, it was passed in year 2000. So here Twitter को order हुआ है that they should block the certain accounts, certain tweets, because they have been non-compliant with section 69A of the Information Technology Act. अब हम देखते हैं कि व्हाट इज सेक्शन 69A ऑफ द इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी एक्ट. सो इट एम्पावर्स द गवर्नमेंट टू रिस्ट्रिक्ट एक्सेस टू एनी कंटेंट इन द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ सॉवरेनिटी एंड इंटीग्रिटी ऑफ द कंट्री, सिक्योरिटी ऑफ स्टेट, फ्रेंडली रिलेशंस विद फॉरेन स्टेट्स और फॉर पब्लिक ऑर्डर. ओके, देन द नेक्स्ट वन इज दैट गवर्नमेंट कोई भी डायरेक्शन देती है किसी भी सोशल मीडिया कंपनी को, दैट मस्ट बी रिकॉर्डेड इन राइटिंग. Then the third one is that if social media they fail to act according to the government direction, they are liable to be penalized along with an imprisonment term which may extend up to 7 years. Okay, now there is one rule that is called as rule 16. Okay, so अगर हम यहाँ पे देखेंगे कि internet advocacy groups हैं, they are critical of rule 16. Now the reason is why they are critical of rule 16. So they says that it suggests strict confidentiality be maintained on all requests and actions taken thereof. ठीक है, तो ये ट्रांसपेरेंसी के अगेंस्ट जाता है. द नेक्स्ट इज, अब हम ट्विटर का यहाँ पे क्लेम देखते हैं. ट्विटर का क्लेम यहाँ पे क्या है? ट्विटर इज सेइंग that it respects the user expression while also taking into consideration the applicable local laws. मतलब that Twitter they respect the local laws. Then if they say that there may be disparity in assessment of what constitutes free expression and harm to public order among the two entities is the premise of the entire controversy. मतलब कि यहाँ पे ट्विटर को ये बोला गया है कि आप ये पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट के लिए ये ब्लॉग या ये अकाउंट को आप बंद कर दो. ओके, बट व्हाट कॉन्स्टिट्यूट्स, बट देयर आर टू थिंग्स इन कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ओवर हियर. वन इज फ्री एक्सप्रेशन which flows from article 19 of the constitution, and the second is harm to public order. ओके, harm to public order. तो यहाँ पे अगर हम देखेंगे सुप्रीम कोर्ट का एक जजमेंट है जो बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है, दैट इज द सुप्रिटेंडेंट सेंट्रल प्रिजन फतेहगढ़ वर्सेस राम मनोहर लोहिया 1960, where Honorable Supreme Court has said that restrictions made in public interest must possess reasonable connection to the objective being achieved. For example, that if some post has to be deleted for maintenance of public order, Okay, then here the restrictions which are based in public interest. तो ये there should be some connection with the objective. जैसे objective है कि to maintain the public order, तो ये there must be some connection that this removing this user or removing this blog will contribute directly for the maintenance of public order. The next problem with the tutor is that the concerns that the directions which have come to the Twitter, they are not aimed at only blocking, they are aimed at blocking individual accounts and not the specific content. ठीक है, तो बहुत सारे ट्विटर को ऐसे भी रिक्वेस्ट मिले कि जहाँ पे अकाउंट को ही बंद करने का डायरेक्शन दिया गया है एंड नॉट टू रिमूव द पर्टिकुलर ट्वीट. अगर हम इंडिया की बात करें, सो बिटवीन February 2, 2021 and February 28, Twitter it has received direction to block 1,474 accounts and 175 tweets in India. The next is one liner, इसको कहते हैं 20 bed army medical facility has been opened at Galwan at 14,000 feet. So 2 years after 20 soldiers they were killed in clash with Chinese army in Ladakh's Galwan area. So the Indian army has for the first time it has set up a medical unit in Galwan. Okay, it has the capability to treat the gunshot wounds at an altitude of 14,000 feet. Now we already know that the government has said that opening of such facility at high altitude, okay, is significant because there is no such arrangements earlier. That this has been done for the first time. क्यों? क्योंकि जो nearest hospital है it was 200 km away in Leh. The next is this paragraph that June 15 को गालवान इंसिडेंट हुआ था 2020 में, जिसमें 20 soldiers they were killed. And this incident it also took place at the south bank of Pangong Lake in August-September, but no injuries were reported. तो जो पहली बार जो गन चला था, बुलेट चला था, this was the first time that since 1975 that the shots were fired from the two sides. The next is that India has held several rounds of talks with Chinese army for disengagement on certain sectors. इसमें 15 rounds of talks हो चुके हैं and now the disengagement is there is no breakthrough which has been achieved for the disengagement at patrolling point 15. now यहाँ पे कभी कभी ये फैक्चुअल क्वेश्चन आ जाता है कि पेट्रोलिंग पॉइंट 15 को हम और किस नाम से जानते हैं. सो पेट्रोलिंग पॉइंट 15 इट इज़ ऑल्सो नोन एज हॉट स्प्रिंग. तो यहाँ पे अभी तक डिसएंगेजमेंट नहीं हुआ है, जबकि 3 राउंड ऑफ टॉक्स हो चुके हैं for disengagement at Pangong Tso Lake. The next is army needs new utility helicopters. तो अगर हम यहाँ पे देखेंगे कि आर्मी एविएशन कॉर्प्स है, it is in the process of upgrading itself and for induction of indigenous light combat helicopter underway. And Apache attack helicopters, they will join the Army Aviation Corps by 2024. Currently the Army Aviation Corps they have the fleet of Cheetah and Chetak for high altitude areas and they need replacement. तो यहाँ पे देखिए रिप्लेसमेंट के लिए कौन कौन से ऑप्शन है हमारे पास. एक है KA-2260 एंड इंडिजीनियस लाइट यूटिलिटी हेलीकॉप्टर. तो इसमें से जो KA-2260 है इट इज़ इंडिया इज़ प्रोक्योरिंग फ्रॉम रशिया. And the light utility helicopter, this is being manufactured by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, which is in Bangalore. Okay, now there is a problem with the KA-2260 since because we are procuring it from Russia, but this deal is stuck because of the ongoing Russia-Ukraine crisis. The next is LCH Squadron light helicopter. Light combat helicopter squadron. So army has raised its first LCS squadron on June 1st in Bengaluru and it will subsequently move to Eastern Command. Then the cabinet committee it has sanctioned the procurement of 39 AH-64 Apache attack helicopters from US. तो यहाँ पे ये जानना ज़रूरी है कि Apache हेलीकॉप्टर हम कहाँ से ले रहे हैं, US से. KA-2260 हेलीकॉप्टर्स हम कहाँ से ले रहे हैं, रशिया से. ओके, देन द नेक्स्ट इज दैट आर्मी एविएशन के पास अभी 190 चीता, चेतक और चीतल हेलीकॉप्टर्स हैं. Okay, 5 of them are oldest, which are even 50 years old. That's why there is a need for replacement. The next is again one liner. So here the IIT Kanpur is setting up the air quality sensors for tracking the air pollution in rural area. Okay, so it is a $2.5 million project, and it aims to install 1400 sensors in India, in rural blocks of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. The next is, let's see the air pollution. So air pollution in India is largely an urban concern. It is air pollution की हम जब भी बात करते हैं तो हमारे दिमाग में cities ही आता है, but rural area में भी air pollution है. For example, burning of biomass, diesel generators for electricity, they are worsening the air qualities in villages too. Then in 2019, the government of India has launched the National Clean Air Program. It aims to reduce the particulate matter of air pollution by 20 to 30% by 2024. The next is the safe limits for PM 2.5. यहाँ पे PM का full form होता है particulate matter. So PM 2.5 का जो safe limit है that is 40 micrograms per cubic meter, और पार्टिकुलेट मैटर 10 मतलब पार्टिकुलेट मैटर का डायामीटर. सो दैट उसका जो सेफ लिमिट है दैट इज 60 माइक्रोग्राम्स. द नेक्स्ट इज चाइना पाकिस्तान बिगिंस वॉर गेम्स ऑफ शंघाई. तो ये एक डिफेंस रिलेटेड न्यूज़ है. इसका नाम है सी गार्जियंस. So there is a Sea Guardians. It is a naval exercise between China and Pakistan, and it was held by China and Pakistan in the Indian Ocean. इसका ये 4-day नेवल एक्सरसाइज है. ठीक है, अभी जो ये यहाँ पे पहला जो इसका हुआ था एडिशन, इट वाज इन अरेबियन सी नियर कराची इन जनवरी 2020. दिस एडिशन इट हैज़ बीन हेल्ड इन शंघाई. ओके, उसके बाद हम देखेंगे कि पाकिस्तान नेवी दे हैव टाइप 054A फ्रिगेट विच वाज बिल्ट बाय चाइना एंड नेम्ड एज तैमूर, एंड इट वाज डिलीवर्ड टू पाकिस्तान इन शंघाई लास्ट मंथ. उसके बाद 054A का जो पहला टाइप का शिप है वो पाकिस्तान के पास ऑलरेडी है, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज तुगरिन. द नेक्स्ट इज ब्रिक्स मीडिया ग्रुप्स लुक टू बूस्ट सिनर्जी. सो हियर we already know that 14th BRICS summit, 14th BRICS summit, it was hosted by China. Okay, and it resulted into Beijing declaration. तो Beijing declaration का जो main highlight था that was about Russia-Ukraine crisis. So all the BRICS countries, they supported that Russia and Ukraine should talk to end the war. Okay, अब यहाँ पे मीडिया अब यहाँ पे हम देखेंगे कि ब्रिक्स कंट्रीज दे हैव कमिटेड टू स्टेप अप द डायलॉग एंड टू फाइंड वेज. मीन्स जो प्रोमिनेंट मीडिया ग्रुप्स हैं ब्रिक्स कंट्रीज़ की, दे आर होल्डिंग टॉक्स टू प्रमोट synergy because now they are facing common challenges like COVID-19 pandemic and Russia-Ukraine crisis. So in the 5th BRICS Media Forum, which is committed to supporting and facilitating the BRICS media organization through initiatives like joint training of journalists for exploring the new technology such as smart co-production, smart broadcasting, satellite news and AI anchors. This BRICS Media Forum, it was established in 2015 by media organizations from the countries like Hindu, CMA Group of Brazil, Sputnik of Russia, China's Xinhua and South Africa's Independent Media. The next is factual information. That recently the BRICS International Journalism online training program was conducted. for the period of 3 months, and there was it was an example of practical cooperation between the experienced journalists and scholars from the 5 BRICS countries. Now coming to sports, so Novak Djokovic, he has won his विंबलडन टाइटल, 7th विंबलडन टाइटल एंड 21st ग्रैंड स्लैम. अभी तक नडाल के पास अमंग द मेंस सिंगल्स, नडाल के पास सबसे ज़्यादा मेंस सिंगल्स है, दैट इज 22. एंड आफ्टर विनिंग द विंबलडन, नोवाक जोकोविक ही हैज़ वन हिज 21st ग्रैंड स्लैम. Okay, so here Wimbledon, it is a grass court first of all. So if you will just see that Djokovic has become the fourth player in the open era after Borg, Sampras and Federer to win 4 consecutive titles at Wimbledon. So from past 4 years, Novak Djokovic is continuously winning the Wimbledon title. Now he has won 7 Wimbledon title altogether, सब मिला के. ओके, सो ही हैज़ लेवल दिस विद साम्प्रास. ओके, सबसे ज़्यादा विंबलडन किसने जीता है? दैट इज फेडरर, हु होल्ड्स द रिकॉर्ड ऑफ विनिंग द विंबलडन 8 times. Okay, the next is Djokovic's Grand Slam title. Okay, it is currently at 21. और सबसे ज़्यादा किसके पास है? That is Rafael Nadal. So friends, that's all for today. We will meet tomorrow again with a daily Hindu analysis. Till then, have a nice time. Take care. Thank you.